Hello everyone, I'm Barry here. Welcome to August 17th. It's just after 5 o'clock in the evening here at Brave Park. And this is a video about how we should treat people and think about our actions before we speak and act. Okay, we all get angry in life, and that's the natural thing. Okay? But if we get angry for no reason, then we are wasting our breath. Now, would I be right about that? Of course I would be. So, I've written something in a book here, which I'm going to show you on screen now. This bottom bit here. And see, this is what I wrote today. I can't read and talk at the same time, but writing things in a diary, guys, will help relieve the anger and stress and the anxiety that we have in our lives. Another way of relieving stress and anger is by going for a nice long walk. Talking to people about how we feel, that sort of thing. And having a nice long hot shower will also relieve the tension, and going for a ride for a drive in your car and eating good food as well. It is no good sitting in our rooms with the doors shut and sulking, because it is not the way to handle a situation. Like even me, myself. Okay, do you remember when I had this huge meltdown in May? Yeah, well that was a big mistake, and I regretted that. And I never thought before I acted. I had a few big meltdowns, even during my COVID period. And we all make mistakes, and we are only human. Okay? So, the tips I'd like to give to you this evening on this is always think before you act or say anything. Because if we don't think before we act, and we have a massive outburst, well, we are not only hurting our feelings, but the person's feelings as well. We say things out of the blue, and then we think, uh-oh, we wish we hadn't said that. But, to avoid apologizing all the time for one silly mistake, okay, it's best if we just walk away from the situation, and then when we are ready to talk about it, then we can calm down. Well, after we calm down, we can either talk to the person about how we have felt, okay, and write things down in a diary, like I've done today. Okay, so this is very important, and I've started to do that now. So I'm going to write in the diary again tonight before I go to bed, and then again in the morning when I get out of bed. So keeping a record of what we've written in our diary, guys, it is very important to do that. Okay, so when you've written down in the diary you what you've written. You can read about it even in the park, even whilst having lunch, or having your dinner before you go to bed. So that way you can reflect on what you've written. Okay? And then, like I said on the show yesterday, when midnight strikes, tomorrow is another day, and you can start off fresh again. See, this is very important that you keep track of how you have felt, not just me, but we can control our anger, control our frustration. But the one thing, guys, you've got to remember is never, ever take your anger out on someone else for no apparent reason because you've had a bad day. And like I just said a couple of minutes ago, you are not only hurting your own feelings, but the person's feelings as well. Okay? And when you've had a chance to calm down, okay, just explain to the person why you are angry instead of apologizing, because apologizing, guys, sometimes doesn't cut the cake. And sometimes people don't want to accept your apologies because you keep saying and saying the same thing over and over again. So before you speak or do anything, please really think about your actions. Even I've got to do that sometimes. So with things having gone our way, should we blame someone for it? No. Should we accept the fact that this is not gonna happen, or this isn't gonna happen? Yes. Is there anything that we can do about it? Of course there is. Should we go on and on about it? Of course we shouldn't. Should we have a positive mental attitude? Yes, because it is the only way we're going to have a better life and a better attitude in the long run. There are things you can do to get rid of the negative attitude and thoughts that we have in our mind. And talk to a psychologist if you feel down or upset. Don't just bottle anything up, guys, because it is not the way to go. And like I just said, write things down in a diary, guys. It's that simple. That's all you've got to do. And if you've got someone in a wheelchair, maybe you can help them to write things down in a diary. Ask them how they are feeling. Check in on them. Okay? Ask them, are they okay? Ask them, would they like some help to write in a diary about how they have felt. It's that simple. So I will be back again tomorrow to bring you an update on this. And like I said in the park, don't be rude to the person. Okay? Explain what your problem is in an adult-like way, because it is the only way that you are going to get the problem fixed or resolved, I should say. So don't be angry, just accept the fact that this isn't gonna happen or this isn't gonna happen because, guys, like I've said, you are not only letting yourself down, but the people around you down. So as I leave you tonight, please really do think, hang on, what have I said to this person to upset them? What have I done? Do they deserve this? No, no, because when you raise your voice, when we raise our voices for no apparent reason, guys, we are not only hurting the person's feelings, but they may react back. So I will be back with you again tomorrow to discuss this. This is just the start. So I will see you then. Good morning, everyone. This is Barry Fair. I'm signing on for Thursday, the 18th of August. Thanks for joining me here. It's lovely to have your company here for this Thursday, the 18th of August. And today I'd like to continue the part about thinking about our actions. And I will just recap on what I spoke about yesterday. So there it is on the screen there. So guys, the important tips, okay, I'd like to give to you. We must think about our actions before we do them, and think about our words before we even speak or react. Because like I said last night in the first part of the video that I brought to you, this is very important that we all should think before we speak and act. Because if we haven't started our person, then speak without thinking, then we are not only hurting the person's feelings, but our own feelings as well. So, this is very important that we really do think about how we behave and how we act and how we speak to people, because we're angry with people, okay, for no apparent reason, then they won't want to respect us in return, because people may be trying to explain something to us or trying to talk to us, and we push them away, and we have hurt their feelings as well as our feelings as well, because because the way we act sometimes may hurt people's feelings, and 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 if we keep doing or saying the wrong thing, guys, it really can let the person down, and people may not want to give us their respect in turn. So it is very important, guys, really think about our actions, okay? Work out how we're going to speak to one another. And like I said, write down in a diary, okay, about how we have felt too, and I am going to do that today as well, and I will read back to you what I have written in the diary. And another thing I'd like to point out is I'm speaking in a calm voice without getting angry, and having a time out if we are angry as well, because this is the only way to resolve the problem, okay? And have a nice cup of tea or coffee and talk to someone about how frustrated you are. But at the same time, guys, do not raise your voice. Do not blame someone because things haven't gone your way or things like that, because it is not the way to handle a situation, because like I've said, you are not only letting yourself down, but the people who are around you, because they are only trying to get their side of the story across to you, because like I said last night, I had a couple of huge meltdowns a couple of months back. I won't go into those, but I can tell you I nearly hurt someone else's feelings as well as mine, because I didn't think before I spoke or how I acted, and that was wrong of me to do that sort of thing, because I knew where I went wrong, and I apologized. But then a couple of months later, I had another meltdown again, and I nearly lost my temper. Now that was not right of me to do that. So I will continue this in this format today before I go out for my community access, and I will get back to you after breakfast. The time now is 5 minutes past 8. It's Thursday, August the 18th. I'm Barry Fair. Thanks for joining me, and I will get back to you. It's a 10:15 on Thursday morning, the 18th of August. Good morning to you once again. I'm Barry Fair. Thanks for joining me here in the studio on this Thursday morning, the 18th day of August. Well, moving on to a recipe now, and it's called bread and butter pudding. Now, who loves the bread and butter pudding here? Let me know down below. Well, how do you make a bread and butter pudding? Well, you you get some bread, you make a custard, okay, and you pour it over the bread, and you can add lots of your favorite ingredients like your dried fruit, your apples, your pears, your berries, that sort of thing. And Manuela, what do you think of this? I don't like bread and butter pudding, I'm sorry. Why? I can't eat it. It's got dairy in it.
often, and it also has wheat in it and gluten. So not only do I not like it, my husband likes it.
And apology accepted
Sorry.
for that. But anyway, bread and butter pudding is the most satisfying dessert you could ever have. Now, if you're a bread and butter pudding fan, well, you can make this delicious recipe, but my upside I can't have it on, as she just pointed out. Okay, so it's a great pity, but bread and butter pudding, guys, you just can't go wrong with that. Okay, so why waste bread when you can turn bread into something delicious? Okay, there are lots of things you can make with bread as well, such as French toast, and it's so easy to do, and I might even tell you how to make French toast now. Okay, dip some bread in some egg and milk, and then fry it in a fry pan on both sides. You can have French toast breakfast or lunch or dinner, whatever floats your boat, guys. So, if it's a wet, miserable day, you can either have French toast to start the day for breakfast, or whip up something in the kitchen like a chocolate pudding like we did a couple of weeks ago. That was really good. Okay, so if it's a rainy day, whip up some nice recipes. Now, getting back to this bread and butter pudding, guys, you will love it. Okay, you can't go wrong with it. And like I said, why waste the bread and other and use it up, turn it into something delicious like a bread and butter pudding. And it's so easy to make and get the kids involved in this as well. There is absolutely nothing wrong with getting the kids involved in cooking and whipping up this delicious bread and butter pudding. Now I know it is 10:30 in the morning and I'm talking about bread and butter pudding, but if, like I've said, if it's a wet, rainy day, guys, I mean, whip up this delicious bread and butter pudding. That's all there is to it. Now, now, I'm going to show you viewers now what I've written in my diary. So I'll just pause that for a second so I can get my offsider to show you what I've written in the diary so far. And I will just read out. So I will just show you on the screen now what is there. So you see there, that's the what was written in the diary so far. But there is going to be more to this. Okay? More of this. Okay? Because guys, writing things down in a diary is really very important because that way you can read over what you wrote in and think, okay, I've had a bad day today or a good day, and work out why you have felt this way. Okay, because okay, you may wake up in the morning, okay, and think, okay, am I gonna have a good day or am I gonna have a bad day? But not everybody wakes up on a positive note. How do you wake up on a daily basis? Do you wake up in a good mood or not so good? I'd like to hear from you today about this. Well, that's all from me for the moment, and I will get back to you later on today. Um, the time is coming up to 10:25. A beautiful day here. We're going to check it out, and we will get back to you later on. But before I do sign off from uh, the morning part of the show, remember, think about your actions. Don't take your anger out on someone else because it may hurt their feelings. Here's my outsider.
Yes, no, you should never take your actions out on somebody else because I don't deserve it.
And 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 just because you're having a bad day, it doesn't give us the authority to take our anger out on someone else because we may have had some bad news about something and it may not have been their fault. So guys, the choice is yours. You can either accept the fact that this is not gonna happen or this is not gonna happen, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, and also, when a decision is being made, sometimes it's out of people's control. Here's my outsider.
Yes, sometimes it is, I agree.
So we're gonna conclude the first part of today's show now and come back to you later on. I'm Barry Fair. It's Thursday, August 18th. Well, it's come to the end of another day here at Bray Park. And just going over some of the things I've talked about with you so far and just recapping what I've spoken about. And as you can see there's a report there. This is what I've written here so far, so I don't have to repeat myself. But, like I've said last night on the show, okay, it is really important that we treat each other kindly, speak to one another kindly, show respect for one another, and listen to each other's opinions. Okay, because this is really important, guys. Okay? If we get angry for no apparent reason whatsoever, then guys, we are wasting our breath. Okay? And it is really a waste of time if we have an outburst or say something that is not appropriate in front of anybody. But the most important thing, guys, that we must remember to think about our actions before we speak or act, and really do be careful about what you say about the person, because if we say something about someone behind their back that is not true, well, it could backfire. So it is very important, guys, that we are very careful about how we speak and act and how we treat someone. So it's not a matter of just coming out and saying something out of the blue, because it doesn't work that way. So I'd like to conclude this day by saying that it is really important, guys, to really do think about your actions and how you speak and how you act. And next time on the show, I'm going to be talking about how people's feelings can be hurt. So that's coming up next time on the show. But until next time then, Barry here wishing you a very good evening. Have a good night, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.